Okay, we're going to try this again. Here we go. Hey, what's up, YouTube, and welcome to another Guild Ball match report. Today we've got Sean coming in with his blacksmiths taking on my Midas. And that's right, Kami team once again. You can see Culverin kicking off the ball there. Just trying to cross-court it there in midfield. So let's have a look at the team. So, blacksmiths are coming in with Culverin Cutlass, Hearth Furnace, Alloy, and Vet Cinder. So, interesting team there from Sean. I've got Midas, Naja, Kami, we're going to keep trying her, Mercury, Vet Cat, and Vitriol. So, I'm just trying different looks with Kami, seeing what squaddies might actually work with her. And Sean is playing around with a Culverin and Cutlass lineup. And again, I think it's a very interesting Blacksmiths lineup. They are playing a 2-2 game. They're playing almost like an Alchemist-style condition game, so they want to soften up the lines with ranged plays and conditions. 2, they need to finish off strikers, anybody that gets too close to their goals. And 3, that Alloy goal and the timing around that is so important for his victory plan, because Alloy is really kind of the pure striker on the team. For the Alchemists, we are playing a 2-2 game. 1, we need to create space, kind of ruin that blacksmith synergy with their spacing. 2, we need to keep pressure on the apprentices, and I'm talking takeout pressure. And 3, we need to get on the board first. We need to strike first blood or score the first goal, kind of keep them on the back foot for the entire game. So again, really interesting that the blacksmiths in this case have a very strong condition team with Cutlass Culverin. They've got Burning, Searing Strike. They've got even Poison with Dirty Knives. So a lot of interesting stuff, and they have the knockdown advantage as well. So let's go ahead and speed up the tape, and let's have a look. So I'm going to do a little bit allocating there, and you can see Culverin in the middle of the field. I think that's great. It's a great position. That's where she can take advantage of basically Cutlass's ranged plays. And that ball scattered right in front of the Sneck there, and Mercury. So just waiting for Sean to finish allocating. So I'm going to go ahead and it looks like I'm going to go ahead and snatch up the ball with Kami, and I'm just going to kick it over to Mercury. So I could have killed the ball, but that seems like a waste. Let's just go ahead and kick the ball over to Mercury and dodge him up. Get him ready for the next part of the play. Sean looks like he is going to open up with Hearth there. He's going to use this over to Alloy and Instruction. I believe this goes to Vet Cinder. So always really nice activations there by Hearth. Just such a useful piece. I'm going to park Vet Cat off on the side there. And this is interesting. I've been doing this a lot, and this just kind of, it kind of opens up this little safe bubble where people just do not want to end their turn, within charge range of Vet Cat. Because we know Vet Cat's going to try to get in and do some damage on the following turn. Meanwhile, this looks like we had a little tool up from Furnace. I'm not sure who I think he tooled up Cutlass and just walked up the board. I'm going to take the Sneck, park the Sneck in there in cover. Sneck doesn't really have good targets this game, so we're not going to see much from Sneck. Plus, if you guys were watching the last battle report, Sneck has been really kind of choking for me. He's just not doing well these past few games. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Sneck does not like Kami either. But hey, we're trying, folks. We're trying to like Kami. Anyways, it looks like Cutlass tried her range play through Culverin on the Sneck. Hates the Sneck. Sean hates the Sneck. Misses and then just parks up there by the cover. Meanwhile, I've got Mercury, who is going to pass the ball, I believe, over to Midas. There we go. Then he's going to jog just enough. Like, it looks like only like 3 inches, if that. It's probably like 2 inches just to get within range of Culverin. And I'm kind of like adjusting this, wiggling around. I want to block off access to Kami and the Sneck there for the rest of the team. So I land a Fire Blast on Culverin. 2 damage and burning. Not too bad. I think Sean forgets Culverin's like healing power thing I don't think it makes a giant difference, but I don't know if he remembers to tick it or not. Anyway, it looks like Culverin's gonna go. She's gonna move around, and I think she tries a ranged play on somebody, and it doesn't hit either. So that dice not doing Sean any favors in the early going here. I'm going to go in with Midas. I'm sorry, this is Vitriol. And I'm going to get a couple of push dodges off on Culverin. The idea is to get her out of cover and get her in striking range of Midas. Not necessarily a hostage. And this is kind of sad too, because this is Vitriol without the freebie charge, which is always hurts a little bit to actually have to pay for that charge, but that's okay. That's the drawback to taking VCAT instead of OCAT. You can see she heroic there, puts burning on both Culverin and Cutlass. And that was after Cutlass cleared the burning. So here comes V-Cinder. She's going to immediately just throw that spear over at the snack. Sean hates the snack. So does some damage to snack and Searing Strike there for burning. All right, looks like Midas is about to go. And Midas does have range to Culverin. And because I believe Sean has no momentum, because he used the one momentum to clear burning on Culverin early, there's really not much he can do here. I'm really just going to rack up a little bit more momentum and try to do some damage. It looks like I actually knock her down, which is nice. So I knocked her down on the charge, and I'm just going to put a little pepper her down with a little bit more damage, get her ready for the next round. So Culverin, not in good shape, was just a little too close to my threat range, and I was able to exploit that with Vitriol and Midas. So this is going to give me a gigantic momentum lead, because the one issue with the blacksmiths is their thread extension can somewhat be lacking. You can see I'm just dragging, looks like I'm dragging Culverin further into the line there. And deciding if I want to keep the ball. I think I do end up keeping the ball on Midas there, because it's the safest from Alloy right now. Alloy, I think, is the last person to go. So Alloy is going to acrobatics to the line and then charge Midas. Midas is going to, it looks like I am unpredictable, just to kind of sidestep a little bit. And now here's something interesting. Sean does not have a goal run here, and he knows it. So he is going to do something kind of cool. He's going to put some dirty knives on, I think he puts dirty knives on, not Midas. He put it on somebody else. I forget who it was. And then Midas is going to, looks like he's just going to, oh no, he didn't do dirty knives. He just did momentous damage. Midas goes ahead and counters back just to do poison fire, and then Sean clears that. So it looks like end of the turn, some conditions are going to tick, and we're looking at turn 2. So again, gigantic momentum lead, but my cards are all like 6s and 7s or 1s. So I still end up playing a high card just to give myself turn. I think it's a fairly high card. I think, it's hard. I can't read from here, but you guys could probably read when this becomes full screen. But anyway, so I've got a decision to make. I've got Midas with the ball. It's a pretty easy goal run if I decide to go ahead and go with that. But I think the priority right now is to try to get Culverin off the board, because if I can take Culverin off the board, that's a pretty big amount of firepower taken away from Cutlass. And so, I always think to beat down the apprentices, but I've done enough work there on Culverin to actually try to finish her off with VCAT. Plus she has all those conditions and knockdown. So this should go relatively smoothly. And so we're talking 2-2 with conditions on. And I think I open up with like Momentous 6 on the first attack, which is really, really nice. And also, a couple of crowd outs are helping as well. Actually, one crowd out, I think. And this is just going to make really short work of Culverin. It's going to give me a bucket load of momentum. And this is kind of the VCAT play, right? VCAT coming in on first activation of the next round. Even if I don't have a goal run or I potentially give up a goal, still super worth it because that's a takeout at the start of turn. That's buckets of momentum. And it just sets me up for the rest of the turn, especially if there was a pile of influence on a player or a pile of influence that depended on the player. In this case, her kind of being the node for Cutlass. So here comes V-Sender into the Sneck. Again, so much enmity towards the Sneck. And I think I actually healed the Sneck last turn just to put the Sneck back up in health. And this is where she should have easily killed this Sneck. 5 dice on 5s. She should have done it, with an average of a couple of hits, but does not leaves the Sneck on 1, I believe. And so not the best fortune going for Sean right now at the moment. I'm not sure what we're checking. I think he was checking to see if in fact the Sneck was going to die. Doesn't look like it. So he's going to come in there with Alloy against Mercury. And it's weird. I'm not sure why he didn't just try to go in and I actually set up Alloy with use this and then have Alloy come and try to take the ball from Midas, maybe try to score there. But he tries to put some work on Mercury, and it's not bad. He ends up putting Dirty Knives on Midas and Mercury. So lowering defense is nice, and a couple of poisons out there. Also pretty nice. So it looks like Mercury's hitting back. Oh, no, sorry. That was... it looks like... Yeah, Mercury did actually swing back and decided to do a couple of damage over to Alloy. And so Alloy's got a little burning. That was a back to the shadows. So Alloy's up there. It looks like kind of like a snapshot turret. And yeah, I'm going to go back into him with Mercury. Because why not? I've got... there's no harm in going after Apprentice back there. Especially with one takeout under my belt. And Sean has no ball threat at this point. So I'm not sure why Alloy went in that early, except for maybe he was worried that I could kill Alloy with Mercury and Midas. But, so yeah, go into Alloy with Mercury. Alloy gets a very good counterattack off and just dodges out, making me waste 1 influence. Cutlass is going to go, and she is going to try to do a little bit of work to Vitriol. And I think she does a little bit of damage to Vitriol. Nothing terrible, but it is a little annoying because Vitriol, it takes Vitriol's charge away, and I only put 1 on Vitriol. So Vitriol kind of struggling in the teams that don't have, say, a Venom or an OCAT, where she's got a guaranteed condition where she can activate that 3 influence and really turn it into 5. Vitriol is going to miss entirely on her attack, but Cutlass does a weird thing in counterattacks, dodging out of the way, which was a mistake because then I can pull poison off of Midas and get a free charge. So that was doubly bad, right? I get to remove a poison and I get a free charge. I still don't think I did anything significant there, but I did. Looks like I did do the heroic just to keep burning on Cutlass there. Here comes, it looks like Furnace. I'm sorry, this is Hearth. trying to... I'm not sure what Hearth is trying to do. It looks like... that actually does look like furnace on my screen. I can't... Yeah, when I do my voiceovers, the miniatures are super small. So I'm trying to figure out, who is that? It looks like that person goes in on Kami. And then nothing too significant there. It looks like Kami's going to go and put a little burning on... oh, yeah, sorry, that was Hearth on Kami. Put a little burning on Furnace and then place over to crowd out Cutlass. Furnace is going to go clear the burning, and he's trying to get... He didn't have enough to actually charge, just enough to sprint and get into melee with VCat. So that was a little unfortunate. There just wasn't, there wasn't enough left of a play there for the blacksmiths to do much. And it looks like Midas is going, and I'm going to lose some footage here because my camera, this new camera just decides to stop every time there's about to be a goal scored. But anyways, no, it's actually, I think we do get this goal. So you can see Midas is going to stroll up the board there, kick a goal, and then just kind of move back into position. So 6 unanswered points by the Alchemists, takeout, and a goal. Ball's going to come back in closer to Hearth and snap it directly to her. So kind of have another goal front loaded there. And I don't think there was anything else left to do this turn. Looks like everybody has gone, so we're going to play for the next turn. Again, I still have a gigantic momentum lead for Witness Me. I've got Furnace there in my face, who really probably would not die unless I were to spike really hard. And I've got Alloy on the... Hearth on the top of the board there with the ball. The takeout threat right now, I believe Alloy is like on 5 health at this point, and Cutlass is doing not much better. So I do have some potential there. Here comes Culverin coming back in on the board. And I forgot to mention, we did actually have the Cutlass do a 2-inch dodge when Midas took his shot, but it really wasn't much of a factor there. So here goes VCat, and he's going to walk around, and instead of swinging on Furnace, he'll walk around and just try to finish off Cutlass. So because Cutlass has a condition on her and a crowd out, which it's going to take the cover bonus away, and also there's a crowd out in her favor in the form of Furnace. It looks like I'm going to do a little bit more damage there, but not kill her. Hearth is going to go up the field, try to pass the ball to Alloy. And unfortunately, Sean's dice just don't like him today. So he's going to miss the pass, and it's going to snap directly to Mercury, because why not? Why not? So Mercury intercepts that ball, and now Sean is going to have to put a little more effort into this goal run. I'm trying to figure out who goes next. But we need to try to get rid of Cutlass here. So it looks like I am going with Midas. And Midas is just going to barely whittle her down. Again, he is terrible at actually doing damage, so I'm doing like a 1 damage at a time. But it's enough to take her out, putting the Alchemist up 8-0 at this point. So I have my 2 takeouts. Ball's coming down the other way. And, this is just paced poorly at this point. And like I said, I was able to score first and just keep pressure on Sean the whole time. And Sean's attacks really weren't, it's not that they weren't focused, it's just that they could have been a little cleaner. And of course, obviously his dice were not doing too well here. So here comes Alloy. Alloy's going to go ahead and just slide back, kind of pick up the pieces after that missed hearth goal, tackle the ball, and then he's going to go ahead and score it. So Blacksmiths are on the board with 4 to the Alchemist 8. And the rest of this game is pretty simple. I mean, there's not enough influence left on the board to dramatically change the outcome of this game. Looks like Vitriol is going to pick up that ball and then just kick it directly to Kami. And Kami's just going to slide forward with it. I have enough momentum from the earlier takeout to just be able to take the final goal with Kami. Sean is going to try to do a little bit of blocking with Culverin there, but unfortunately it's a little too late. And Kami's going to go get a regular goal, like not a fancy Kami goal, but a goal. So she contributed. You never know, right? She could make the squad, maybe. I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. But that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.